Hi friends, it's Alejandra. Welcome to another Bite-Sized Book Chats. Today we're going to be talking about graphic novels. So I personally am not a huge graphic novel person. They're a little intimidating to me, to be completely honest. And this month I wanted to push myself and go a little bit out of my comfort zone and find something that I would enjoy graphic novel wise. So I did find a few things, so I'm going to be talking to you about those books, and I'm also going to be giving you some tips as to how you might be able to find some graphic novels that you might enjoy. If you're at all like me and they're a little intimidating but you want to do it but you don't know how, hopefully this video will help. So the first book that I read was Breaking Cat News by Georgia Dunn. So this is a juvenile book, and the great thing about this is that it's kind of broken up into sections. So these might not be different enough, but you can see that they're different colors, which means that they are different stories. This book does not have a set storyline or a plot. It's just a bunch of different comics about these three cats, Lupin, Elvis, and Puck, who are living their life in their homes, but they're also reporting on the things that they find for CN News, which is cat news. And the awesome thing about that is that you can kind of follow along a little easily. It's really easy to find your place and see a good stopping point. Like I said, since there is no set storyline, it's really easy to follow along with each individual strip and tiny story. So I think that might be a nice way to start practicing reading graphic novels if maybe you have a hard time following along with the story or trying to find a good stopping point. This might be a good one. And it's just adorable. If you have cats, I actually also have 3 cats, and there are 3 cats in this book. It's nice to read, and then it's really funny to imagine that maybe this is what the world looks like through their eyes, and they're just kind of reporting on things that they see, like the people making bacon, the people setting up new furniture, or the people vacuuming, and to see how angry they get about that. So I love this book. It's adorable. There are actually more in the series. Again, they're not necessarily in chronological order or a set storyline, but if you enjoy this one, there are some more. I believe there's 4 altogether, so there's lots more where that came from. And then again, they all follow the same format. They all have different colors for the different storylines, and it's really easy to follow along that way and get some good practice reading graphic novels, starting with this. And the second book that I read is a YA book, and it is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. So one of the reasons that I picked this is, well, one, I'd heard really good things about it, which was a great start, but also I know the author. Rainbow Rowell has a couple other books that I've read and I've loved, so I figured that was probably a good place to start as well. So this book follows 2 characters who are each working in a pumpkin maze or a pumpkin field, and they work there every season, every fall, all through high school. And now they are both seniors. So all through those 4 years, our main character has been in love with a girl that he's never talked to. So it's finally the year that they're all leaving, and this year he wants to make it the year that he talks to her. And we've got our other female character over here who is very encouraging, and they spend the entire book trying to find the girl and track her down through this enormous pumpkin maze and the pumpkin field to try and get him to talk to her finally. And along the way we meet some other characters, some stuff happens in between here, and at the end we end up seeing if he does get to talk to the girl that he likes and that he's been in love with for 4 years and never talked to, or if maybe something else happens and he ends up with someone else. It's a very short read. This one it does have a set timeline, and it does have a plot and the more traditional things, but the cool thing about that is that there isn't a whole lot of text on most pages. There are some bigger ones, but most of them are not super full of them. I think that might be one of the things that overwhelms me about graphic novels, is that a lot of them seem to have, the full illustrations along with full blocks of text, which for me can get a little confusing, especially since I'm not super used to reading that format. So this was easier for me because it was a little bit more simple, and then along the way you do have individual chapters, so it's easy to sort of take a break, read a little bit, take a break, read a little bit, take a break, and it's a good way to ease into that. And I actually absolutely love this one. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but the story is adorable, and it is the book with the absolute perfect fall vibe. So if you're one of those people that likes to reread books at certain times of the year, then this one might be a great one to read for fall, or to read now and then reread it in the fall. And it's adorable. I love it. Fall is my favorite season, so this was particularly great for me. So I highly recommend this one. And so some of the ways that I found those books is, again, just by trying to stick to the things that I know and love. For example, this one I picked because I love cats. I love my cats, and again, it just seemed a little easier to read. There isn't a whole lot of text, and even the illustrations are very minimal, and they're super cute, and they're beautiful illustrations, so I really liked that. And it just made it a little easier for me to get into it and read it, and then pause and take a break and then keep rereading if I wanted to. And I've read this book and a couple of the others that are by Georgia Dunn, who is the author, and they're all great. They all, like I said, they all follow the same format, and it's just comforting to go back and read and know that if you just want to read for 5 or 10 minutes, you can just read a couple of quick stories, and then you're done for the night. So that is one way I did that. I know that I love books. I know that I love cats, and I knew that I wanted something that wasn't going to be super overwhelming. So that was one thing that I did find in this while I was browsing for something to read. And then, like I said, with this one, the big thing for me was knowing that I knew the author. If there are any authors that you like or series that you enjoy, then a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times those authors will also have graphic novels. So, for example, Rainbow Rowell, like I said, has written Fangirl. She wrote Eleanor and Park. Both of those are books that I loved, so I knew that I already liked her style and her writing and her voice, so I figured that would be a good place to start, and I would at least be familiar with the author and be familiar with the writing, so that I wouldn't have to focus so much on that and focus more on getting the story and understanding the format and becoming more comfortable with it. For example, if you like the Wings of Fire series, which we also have a bite-sized book chats on, there is a graphic novel version of that, and finding books that you have already read and loved and then finding graphic novel versions of it are actually a great way to get used to it, because then you already know that you like the storyline, you know the characters, you are familiar with what happens, so then you can focus a little bit more on familiarizing yourself with a different format instead of trying to familiarize yourself with a different format and trying to follow along with the story and then getting overwhelmed in the process, which might happen to some readers. So that was another thing that I focused on, was trying to find something that I already was somewhat familiar with and going from there. Another book that people might be interested in if you're looking to get into graphic novels is something that is just interesting to you. This is a series called Science Comics, and they just kind of touch, we have a bunch of them in our collection, just different topics that you might be interested in. And again, a little bit more text in this one, but you've got the same format. And then you can kind of read, just pick one up and then pick another one and pick another one, or just pick one, and you can read about any one topic and then you're done. So this one's also great if maybe you are not super into series that keep going in chronological order, that are longer series. This is the great one because it is, again, there are multiple of them, there are multiple in the series, but none of them are in any specific order that you need to read. And again, if you need any help with those, we are more than happy to help you, so don't hesitate to come talk to us at the desk or give us a call or send us an email, and we will try to find something that will work for you. If none of these are anything that you're super interested in reading, but you would like to get more into graphic novels. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this book was helpful. Thanks. Bye.